Hey everyone, this is me, Undead Viking. I'm here to talk to you about this game. It is called Dreamwell. This is an upcoming game from Action Phase Games. It's designed by Nick Little. It is for 2 to 4 people, and each person is going to be taking on the role of a dream searcher, if you will. You have lost track of your friends within the dream worlds, and you're going to be sending these super cute little balloon creatures out to the different levels of dreams, which are represented by tiles, and hopefully they can move to the different spots in the dreams, and they're going to locate your friends, and by doing so you're going to play these cards that are going to score you points, and then of course whoever has the most points at the end of the game wins. It is a very challenging game with a rather simple set of mechanisms that I found to be very fun and very evocative and dynamic for my mind. So let me show you exactly how to play the game. It actually shouldn't take very long to show you how to play the game, but man, this game is deep. So let me just show you how to play the old Dreamwell game here, and then we'll come back and I'll tell you exactly why I've been enjoying playing this one. Alright, this is Dreamwell, and I've gone ahead and set up a 4-player game. At the end of the game, you're going to take each one of these tiles, you're going to place them out randomly, and also as far as how they're rotated will be random as well. That's why not all of these creatures are face up or what have you. So like this, well, I guess technically, I mean to him, the elephant's right side up, but for you in the camera, like this elephant's upside down. So you rotate them randomly and you place them down. Now, I have set up the non-advanced version of this game. There are some advanced rules that I'll go over, but I'm going to show you the basic rules of the game here right now. So after you've gone ahead and set up all 16 of the tiles, you deal 2 Dreamwell cards to each person. You take the deck and you deal out 4 cards for the Dreamwell display cards, and then you put the rest of the deck there. Now, you determine a first player, however you're going to determine a first player, and then each person gets to take 3 actions of 5 possible actions on their turn. Then the next person goes. The whole goal of this game is that you're trying to score your Dreamwell cards that you have in your hand. To score a Dreamwell card, you have to match up your cute little balloon dream creatures onto tiles that coincide with the scoring combo that's on the Dreamwell card that you have. So for this particular card, the combo is this kind of ink spot guy and this bunny, this blue bunny here, and then the background is this sea with the jellyfish and what have you. So if you have that, you would need to have one guy on an ink spot, and also this has the sea in the background, so that would be for both the ink guy and then the background, and then a blue bunny. So you'd have a blue bunny. At that point, if you had that, you could then, as an action, score a card. And you score a card, you place it down in front of you, you get the points that are on the card, this would be worth 3 points, and then you get a special ability that you can use. In this case, you could move to one of these cute little bear guys that has the heart on his chest. My daughter really likes those guys. And so, where you can see is, if you had, say like, this card in your hand as well, you can see you have this bear with the cute little heart in his chest, and you have this smiley little 3-eyed guy. And so you could set yourself up later in a turn. So then you could take one of your people, and you could say, I'm going to move him to this little bear here, and then what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to get this little pink background and also this 3-eyed creature. And so later on the next turn, if you can get there by moving over to that spot, then you'll be able to score that card as well. Now, like I said, you get this little special ability that's in the location. Some cards have a special ability, like this one, located, this pink elephant, that sustains. It continues until you score another card and cover it up. Now, what this does, as far as the located, it means that if you have a card that you are looking for a pink elephant, you don't need to actually have the pink elephant located, because this card actually says that you've located that little dream creature, and you don't need to have that. And there's also cards that actually say located for like areas of the board. So it'll say like located like the sky, you know, and so you don't need to actually have this dark sky located to score. Some of them just give you a special ability, like this card, that says each turn you can perform a rotation action for free. And I'm going to tell you all the actions here in just a little bit. But you know, that's just a special ability that, like, and once it's covered up, though, then you wouldn't have that ability anymore. Now this one's interesting as far as the scoring points go. It actually says 2 points per, and that's a particular like friend that you are finding in the dream world, and that isn't the friend that's located, but you are able to score cards that have this figure in it. And so if you had scored this card, that card would be worth 2 points for every one of these cards that you scored that had that girl with the like the weird unicorn sea creature that goes right through her chest or whatever. So so you can see like it isn't always just going to be flat scoring, for the different friends that you score. The game, that without any of the advanced rules, will go on until one person has scored 7 of those cards. Once they've scored 7 cards, each person then will take one more turn, and then you'll total up the points and see who wins. Now, on your turn, as I said, there's 5 possible actions, and you get to take 3, and you can take any 3. You can do the same action 3 times or what have you. It doesn't matter. So of those actions, you can draw a card, where you just draw a card off of like either the display or one randomly off the top. And then, of course, if you take a card off of there, you're going to replace it with a card off the top of the deck, like so. You can also swipe the display. If you don't like any of these 4 cards, as an action, you can take those, and then you put them at the bottom of the deck. And then you're going to take the top 4 cards and replace them as on the display as an action. And so you can reset it, if you didn't like any 4 of those, and see if you can get some better luck with the cards that are on there. You can rotate one tile, and then just rotate it however much as you want. And then you pick up a tile, and you just rotate it, and so it's in a different facing after you're done. You can rotate any tile that one of your people is on, or any tile that is unoccupied, but you can't rotate a tile that has another person's little balloon creature on it unless you're on the tile as well. If you're on the tile as well, that does not prevent you from rotating the tile. Then you can move and also score a card. And I've already explained scoring a card, but moving is kind of interesting. At the beginning of the game, everybody's little balloon dream creatures are located off of the board. You move onto the board by just picking one of the tiles that's on the outside and placing it on the board like so. Once you're on the board, you can move around to any tile that you can see one of these little doors that leads onto the tile. You don't have to have a match, but it's helpful if you do have a match, and I'll explain that in just a second. So from this tile, you could go here, you can go here, and you can go here. So you can just go like that, or like that, and move into those locations. Now, if you have a situation where you have these doors that match, you're able to move again along that path for free. So if you were in this little whale spot, you can move into this inkwell because there's 2 doors that match up like that. And between this little ink spot and this 3-eyed guy, you can move again to that spot. Now, if you had a situation where, let's just move this to there like that, you could actually go there, there, and there. And that's why you can rotate other tiles way far away from you, but you rotate them just so you can connect that cool little path. Now, the other cool thing that you can do is that if you have a tile that actually has a door that leads off the board, and you come off the board onto that tile, to this one, that also counts as being able to move again. So you'd have the situation where you can go here, and you can go there again. Or, just like before, you can go there, 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 and there, like so. So you can set up pathways like that to allow you to get your little balloon guys into the right spots so you can score those points. And I mean, this is one of those things where that's all the rules. That's all there is. And as far as scoring the points, it seems like it would be simple. But to get your your dudes, your pawns, to the right spots to be able to score the cards that you have in your hand is very difficult. Now, I should mention that if you ever have more than 4 cards in your hand at the end of your turn, you do have to discard down to 4 cards. All right, so that being said, there are, as I said, advanced rules. And once you play the game once like this, I'd strongly suggest moving on to the advanced game. On the backs of each one of these tiles you can see that there are this white outline, and then you see this dark outline. And so on the back of the tile, it's something obviously drastically different. And at the beginning of the game, what you will do is that you will take 8 of these tiles randomly, and you'll flip them over so they'll have the opposite side on there. And then you have these cards that have the black background. These are the advanced player cards. And then you will put these cards into the deck and shuffle them up. and deliver them. Now, the one thing that you can do then is that you're able to do, as an other action, you're able to do flip actions, which is, as you can probably guess, the ability to take the card and then flip it over to see the other side. Now, the cool thing about this is that you actually can see that it actually tells you, like, you can see that there is, like, this pink outline on the side. It'll show the other side. That's actually, you know, like the pink outline from the inside. And so you can see the blue is the blue. So you actually have an idea of what's behind the other card. You don't have to be picking up different tiles and saying, what's on the other side of this one? Do I want to flip it? Or so forth. And so that actually adds a whole nother level to the game, because of the fact that you can really start, you know, gumming up the works, if you will, for other players and what their intentions are and what cards they're trying to score. And if you're able to, like, kind of pay attention to which cards they're drawing, you know, from the display, you can kind of have an idea of what they're shooting for, and you can maybe mess with them just a little bit. And that's never a bad thing in games like this. I, of course, have horrible memory, so I never remember those things, and I'm usually just so confounded of trying to, you know, score the cards that I have in front of me that I don't even worry about that. But the players that are better than me at this game, which I think is everybody, definitely have been known to remember and retain that knowledge. So there you go. You should have a really good idea of how to play Dreamwell. It is a very visually pleasing game. As I said, this is another one of those like simple rule sets, but very, very, very deep strategy and like mind thinky games, if you will. But let me tell you more about it in my conclusion, which I'll do right now. Alright, thank you very much for learning how to play Dreamwell. The game has a very, as I said, simple set of mechanisms that are deceptively simple. The game has a ton of depth to it because of the fact that each turn is a puzzle. And I love puzzle games. I love trying to determine, like, how am I going to get this card to score? How am I going to get that? Do I want to score this card first, or do I want to score the next card? And it isn't something where you can just focus on scoring, because of the fact that you do have to get more cards into your hand to, like, tie that together. I mean, you don't want to have a wasted action, if you will. There's nothing in my mind like that stinks more than just like moving one of your pawn to a spot just to score a card, but really not having anything following that up. Like, you know, you want to have in this game, yes, get to a point where you can score a card, but setting yourself up for the next turn, you have another card in your hand, and you have a plan. You have a route that you're going to take that's going to score that next card, or maybe two cards in your next hand. And next turn, and then the next turn, make sure. So it's like one of those things where if I feel on a turn of this, if I don't at least score one card, I feel like I've completely wasted my turn. And that's one of these things where, like, as the game gets to me and I'm looking at the board, I'm looking at the cards in my hand, I love deducing that puzzle. I love figuring out that level or whatever. And that's... These types of games appeal to me because of that. You know, there is player interaction, obviously. I mean, people can flip the tiles in the advanced game or rotate them or whatever, they're going to miss things. But for the most part, you're kind of playing a race, if you will. You're trying to race to get to that point where you know, you get your card scored first, because, you know, obviously getting to 7 cards or getting to score, you know, those 7 cards is inherently going to score you more points, but you don't have to win the game. Obviously, I showed you those other cards that score multiple points for each type of card that is, so you have that going for you as well, as far as, you know, trying to compound the points or compound what you have in your hand. And you know, and that actually is kind of one of the cool things, is that the players determine how fast the game is going. You don't want to let somebody, like, you know, earn a bunch of extra points by having those types of cards that, like, you know, add those points together. So it's definitely you know, a situation there where you want to be the one that finishes it off, but you want to make sure you're finishing it off with you well in the lead, if you follow what I'm saying. So there you go. So, you know, it's one of those games that it's fun to look at, it's fun to play, and it is very, very challenging, and it is very, very inviting because of the way it looks and because of the simple rule set. And this is definitely one that I'm going to be playing for a long time, in my opinion. So there you go. That is Dreamwell. If you have any questions about the game, please ask away. I'll be happy to answer those questions to the best of my ability. As always, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. And until next time, I am the Undead Viking, and I'm telling you to have yourself one heck of an awesome day. All right, bye-bye.